Hello everyone, my name is Christoph and welcome to my video about data quality challenges. Today we're going to talk about how we can support our business users in improving the data quality in Salesforce. And because it's rather easy, so it's going to be a quick video, but it's a really valuable tool that will help you tremendously in getting things done quicker in the future. So let's talk a little bit about data quality in general, right? So the problem of bad data quality is the data quality is a huge issue in most Salesforce organizations. So trust me, you're not alone out there. Issues range from duplication issues to missing crucial data or using the same field for various use cases. That's also often an issue. And that leads obviously to challenges. One of them is missing decision support. So you want to create a report and you see, oh, there's a great field for that. But the field is mostly empty. Means you can't do the report, means you can't do data-driven decision-making and still have to rely on your gut. Or you have process failures, so you have false data in the field, so people understood it wrong or whatever. They did something wrong there, gives you wrong output, it gives you an error in the process because you make a wrong decision. Then you have critical process delay. So that's a typical one. So you're in the middle of a process, let's say some client bought something, or you want to send it out, and then you just see there's no shipping address, right? So you have to ask the client, etc. But maybe in that specific use case, it's super urgent. Now you have a problem, everything gets pushed to the back, and now maybe it's going to cost you a lot of money, right? It doesn't have to be shipping address, can be a lot of things, but it can definitely block your whole process. And of course, we want to automate as much as possible. In Salesforce, we mostly do that through flows, but there's also a lot of other tools out there that can automate, or you automate based on Salesforce data with other tools that are out there. However, every time you want to automate anything, you need data to do it, and you need valid data to do it. If you don't have that, it's not going to work. And then you're going to see a lot of errors. So our task for today, so generally finding and adding crucial data to our org is still mostly a manual task. So especially in mid-sized organizations, there's limited access to paid databases for good master data or AI support to maybe search for master data and add it to the system. However, even in bigger organizations, even if you have all that, you still need manual processes in your data. So how can we support the business in solving crucial data challenges as early as possible? So it doesn't not at the point where it's already kind of too late, but as early as possible without disrupting the business process, because that's going to be another issue I'm going to talk about when we jump into the demo. All right, so let's do that. So now you should see here a typical Trailheads free environment. You can just spin it up yourself whenever you would like. So here we don't have much data in, but it's enough for this short demo because it doesn't matter in the end if there's a lot of data or not. The process will always be the same. So for that, we're going to use the reporting tool today. I assume you already report in Salesforce. If not, that's a completely different story. I'm not going to talk about it today, but I assume you did that. So if you want to create a new report, you do that through clicking here, and then you will find different objects. Today, I want to try to work with accounts, right? So a typical thing can maybe you have some quality standard for your account. So it can be simple things. If you unsure what are crucial fields, you can just check the account yourself. Just click on any account that's right here. You see different fields that is in that Salesforce org. So if you look at this, we see, for example, the active field. So maybe this is a really crucial one for you because you only report an active account. So it's important that the accounts that are active are actually set correctly, right? Maybe there's a problem that in your org, you migrate a lot and you have a lot of accounts where the active field is not set. So that could be an issue, right? A simple thing. Another issue for the account could be, let's talk about the shipping address again. So here, for example, we have a shipping address, right? Which is great. If you go to another account, maybe, I think I checked another one before. Let's maybe look here. Not sure here for as well. But let's just delete it for a second because that would be a typical issue that you see. You have maybe a billing address, you don't have a shipping address, right? It could be a typical thing, but that's only important if you have one opportunity. So you maybe want to see, all right, if there's one opportunity, you want to make sure there's a shipping address. So when people actually ship the things out, they get something to work with, right? It can be much different things. It can be also if you want something that there's a valid VAT identification number. If you want to apply a specific tax rules, that's a very specific problem, but there's a lot of processes out there that need specific fields only in a specific use case, right? So you have to prepare for those. So what you can do here with reporting is you can simply report on the use case that you never want to have, right? So let's say, for example, you don't want to have any account that doesn't have the active field not set at all, right? So if we go to active and we click not no or yes, but we click no selection, we can do a filter here. So we see we have 3 accounts here. They don't have anything set yet. So what you can do here, for example, you can just run that one. Then you have these 3 accounts, and you can give that report to a business user that's responsible that every account has an active set, right? And that's an easy thing to do. So if that person now goes through that, we can maybe do it, we help them a little bit. We can add the active field right here, right? Maybe some other data they want to have to make the decision if an account is active or not. And then we can send it to them. They can do field editing. They can go through it. They can make a decision. And as soon as they save that decision, that will be saved in Salesforce. And if you refresh it, it will be gone, right? So that's a really easy thing to do. So you have a list you can work through, easy peasy. For the second use case, for example, when we make it a little bit more complicated and say, all right, we don't care about active anymore, but I really care if there's an open one opportunity that there should be a shipping address. So let's do that real quick. For that, we need a cross filter. Again, this is not a reporting, tutorial. So if you don't know how to do that, reach out. I'm not going to do that here today. So here, let's say, right, I want opportunities and I want those to be 1, right? So now we only see accounts that have 1 opportunities. And now I add my second filter for the shipping street. So street, let's say just street here, address line, whatever, let's do a street. We need that always, otherwise you have an issue. So we're just going to say equals empty, because that's the use case we never want to have. So we have an account with 1 opportunity without a shipping address, right? We could do more here. We could add specific opportunities, whatever. But here, for the just sake of simplification, that's the use case we work with. So if we run this one, we're going to see 2 of them, right? So now you can give that report to another person that's responsible for all the addresses, right? So the shipping addresses. So they can make sure to edit before maybe the next process step is coming, right? So that's just a simple thing to do, because with that approach, you can create multiple reports in your system, let's say 6 or 7, maybe depending on the department, some sales quality issues, others are marketing quality issues, and some service quality issues. You can report them in different reports. Then you can easily combine them in a dashboard. For example, call it sales data quality. You can add those reports to the dashboard really quickly. So let me just save this one real quick here. Your account report, that's fine for now, right? Please don't call that your reports, but here in that case, it's fine. You could create a new dashboard, sales, data health, for example, right? That's it. Then we're going to add our report. So here we just need a table, basically. We don't want any fancy graphs here. We really just want to see the table, because we just use it as a combination of different reports. So now you have a report. You can make descriptions here. You can even add text as well. You can say, for every record in the report below, please add the shipping address. You can do more. You can describe why that's important, etc. That always helps to make people understand what they're actually doing. So that's really not nice. You can make them much nicer. But for now, that's what you got to do, right? So you can add much more here, all related to self-health. And then you can have a dashboard that you can send to maybe 1 representative that's responsible for the sales health data. And then their work is to make sure that every report here is empty all the time. Really simple. That is a really simple approach. Everyone can do that really quickly. That business user can do that. They don't need IT to do that. It's a super easy thing to do. The most difficult thing here is to understand the business problem and not technical details. That makes it perfect for the business users out there that work with Salesforce. So start doing that. That will help you a lot. And that's already all I have for you today. I have more examples, but in the end, it's the same for every object in Salesforce, right? You can report on every object, so you can do it with every object. So yeah, that's what you can do. Thank you so much for tuning in today and watching my video. If you're interested in more Salesforce related content, check our website. We're going to have a link in the description. Also, if you're, for example, interested in one of the new things we did, talking about how you can create up to thousands of emails every month that is sent automatically to your prospects in Salesforce for like a few euros a month using Google Gemini AI or OpenAI. We have a great white paper on that. I think we just released it last week. So if you're interested, also link in the description, check it out. I hope to see you in my next video. Until then, have a great day. Bye-bye.